Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, August 25th. I'm out in my yard again, having another adventure in my Wallapini and out in my garden here. It's got a little bit of a chill in the air this morning. You can tell fall is definitely on its way. Also, I took a video about 2 days ago, so we're gonna go ahead and flash back to that first, and then we're gonna continue to give you the weekly update. So we might be in trouble here. We had crazy high winds last night. School just started this week, so I have not even looked at these plants to see if the squash bugs are still destroying them. So this might be bad. Sure enough, the wind has blown our sunflower over, so I'm gonna have to stick that back up. You can see probably one disadvantage of these weed-free gardens is that the roots can't go much deeper, so this just blew over. But we're gonna try to set that back up and secure that. You can see the sunflower behind me. It's pretty tore up. I don't know if we're going to be able to save it. I'm gonna throw some more dirt around the base of that and put some heavy bricks to kind of help hold that down. Hopefully avoid this in the future. So you're probably thinking, why does this guy care so much about this silly little sunflower? Well, that's because my 6-year-old planted it. It's her seed, and so I'm really hoping that we can save it because I know she'll be devastated if it dies. Seems pretty hammered. I mean, it looks like we got a bunch of dead leaves here. Praying that we can somehow save this. We tied it off like a tree to this post here, so hopefully that will keep the wind from blowing it over next time. And then down here, we've put bricks and rocks and all sorts of things to kind of weigh it down so it's less likely to blow over as well. And then of course I watered it to give those roots some rejuvenation. The last thing we're gonna check on really quick is this little plant here that we've been trying to save from the squash bugs. And by looking at it, I'm pretty sure we're gonna find some squash bugs in here. Oh yeah, there is one right there. There's some dead leaves down here, so I know there's still some squash bugs to be dealt with. But fortunately, I'm not seeing eggs and I'm not seeing squash bugs all over this thing, so I've got pretty high hopes that we're gonna be able to save this plant. And if you look down here, you can see it looks like it's growing pretty good. So here you see our beautiful tree, the one that gave us so many awesome peaches. And if you look down here, you can see all the peaches dead. This peach incident with all the peaches falling to the ground pretty much sums up my entire gardening year. So I bet you next year's videos will be awesome, but this year you get to see all my failures. Lucky me. So of all those peaches that were on the ground in the greenhouse, one of them may be okay to eat. I'm doing the intermittent fasting and it's like 8:30 in the morning, so that means I can't eat it right now. Okay, so we're in the Wallapini this morning. I'm going to flip the camera around and kind of show you what's been happening in here. Okay, so you're looking at our first peach tree. This is the one we transplanted from outside. It's been doing pretty good all year, except for now it's not looking very good at all. My orange tree looks great here. If you remember, I had a bunch of blooms on here. It looked like a bunch of little oranges were going to grow and they all fell off. So, failure. Grapefruit tree sitting here. That tree has not grown at all this year. I can't remember, maybe it was growing in the early spring, but it's not anymore. And then we have the peach tree, and I showed you in the last video. This tree is really thriving in here, but for some reason last week, all the peaches just fell off. Maybe there's a peach tree expert out there that can help me solve that mystery. Behind this peach tree, you will see our other orange tree. This tree has done great this year. Here's the lemon tree. Just like the grapefruit tree, it hasn't done anything this year. My crooked little lime tree. For some reason, this tree is just thriving in here. You can see right here, we've got all this brand new growth. And we also have a couple of little limes still growing on here. You can see
these lines are continuing to grow. I'm just worried with fall coming that they might not get big enough. So that is yet to be seen. If you come over here, you can see the two lily koi trees. I've used a couple of buckets to kind of prop them up. They've gotten crazy long. I actually trimmed them a couple days ago because they were looking like bushes. But it looks like those two are thriving in here as well. Here we've got our raspberry bushes and the blackberry bushes. They've both been producing really well, and we've taken a lot of blueberries and raspberries from these this year. You can see here, got a couple of big juicy blackberries. Nice little handful there. You can see also here, one of the problems with these bushes, you can see the birds and probably some bugs, I don't know, but I think this is the birds get in here and have been eating them. It makes me angry. Get one more here. So, you can see a nice handful of these. Oh! And there was a hornet. You probably all think I'm the biggest wuss because there was a hornet. He's still on me, so there was a hornet on that blackberry that I just picked. And you probably think I'm a big wuss, but when I was a kid, I was trapped in a treehouse with hornets all over me. And I got stung over a dozen times that day. And so, yes, I am a total wimp when it comes to hornets. They're one of the few things that kind of freak me out a little bit. I'm gonna conquer my fears, and I'm gonna go back into the blackberry bushes, and I'm gonna get my blackberries, because I'm not gonna let some dang hornet scare me away from my blackberries I was looking forward to eating this morning. So here we go. Here's my blackberries I dropped. At least 4 of them. I don't know where the other one went. Pretty much dropped it and ran like a little chicken. No joke, last night my neighbor was just telling me that the hornets were eating all their blackberries and raspberries, and so I guess I believe him now. I didn't really believe what they were saying last night, but it must be true. Maybe that's what's eating all my blackberries. I swear, if it's not squash bugs, it's hornets, and guess what? If it's not hornets or squash bugs, it's gonna be something else. Seems like with gardens, you're always running into different creatures like that. So anyways, I have my blackberries here. You can see them. They look so yummy, and they're gonna taste yummy. Sometimes you have to get to them before the bugs do, you know what I'm saying? Also, I got some raspberries down here. I'm gonna show you those real quick. So we learned our lesson. First thing we're gonna do is look for hornets. No hornets here, we're safe. With the raspberries and blackberries, really you don't want to pull them unless they just kind of fall right off like that. So you can see as I pull them, they just fall right off. And take out a nice little handful here. Once again, we have a bunch of raspberries out here, so we'll send the kids out to pick these later today. I think I saw a juicy one down here. So you can see a whole bunch of nice raspberries here, and I'm gonna make all you city folk jealous. I'm gonna eat these fresh raspberries right now. Right on camera, just like that. No washing them. They're safe to eat that way because we don't put any poison anywhere around our garden. It's not allowed. I just want to show you how awesome the strawberries are doing this year. The strawberry plants are growing huge, and you can see some flowers and stuff like that growing on here. And if you look even closer, you can see some big juicy strawberries. But you look really close, you can see some holes in the strawberries. That is from potato bugs. Like I was just saying, if it's not squash bugs, it's hornets. And if it's not hornets, it's potato bugs. And if it's not potato bugs, it's something else. Always something in the garden. So anyways, let's see if I can get at least one good strawberry out of this plant. This guy right here. This strawberry isn't as big as you'd want it, but it is ripe, it's ready. And if we leave it sitting here, we already know what's gonna happen. A bug's gonna get it. So that, my friend, was a dang good strawberry. I'm not seeing any others in here. There's a little one right here and some that are growing. I'm gonna kind of get them up off the ground, and hopefully the potato bugs won't get to those. And hopefully we can come back in a couple days and eat them. You'll notice these big long strings coming out from them. That's why you don't need to buy 400 strawberry plants. You just need to buy, 7 or 8 of them, because these will grow out, and then underneath here you'll notice this section right here will actually start putting roots into the ground, and before you know it, this whole thing will just be strawberries. All right, if you look there, you can see our carrots. They look like they're coming along nicely. We could probably pull one of those out. Maybe I'll wait one more week. And then the rhubarb is still strong and healthy. Got my walking onion right there. And then I shouldn't even really talk about this squash plant that never ever grew for some reason. So on this walking onion though, you can see this section here. What happens is these pieces here will get so heavy that they touch the ground, and then a new bush will grow from these. You can already see there's little onions growing from these. So these walking onions are pretty amazing because they just keep expanding and growing. So now we're looking at the tomato plants. You can see we've got some nice big tomatoes growing here. And then over here, you can see our cherry tomatoes. In fact, this will be more than my family will be able to eat. So we'll be giving away a lot of these. Here's the sunflower. The leaves feel pretty good and strong, but the plant itself doesn't look so good. So I'm not sure if this thing's gonna make it. I guess that's just another fun part of the experiment. Looking here at one of our squash plants, you're gonna notice a bumblebee. Now bumblebees are good for the garden, while hornets aren't. But glad to see this guy here doing his thing. Here looking at the pepper bushes, they're both looking good. You can see a little pepper there, and then on this one here you can see we've actually got peppers everywhere. So it looks like we're gonna get some peppers out of this bush, thankfully. And then you can see the 2 celery bushes right here. And then you come here to the watermelon plant. You got a little one growing there. It's about the size of a baseball. And then we got this guy right here, which you can see is almost, well, it's not close to the size of a football. It's the size of a Nerf ball. And then over here to the squash plant, you can see somehow the side that I didn't burn is still surviving. The side that I did burn, there's the remains from it. I did check this for squash bugs yesterday, and there has not been very many squash bugs on here. It seems like I find 1 or 2 each time, but this plant does not appear to be in danger anymore. And you can see, if I come over here, you got some new flowers. So you got a flower underneath here. That could turn into a vegetable. And then we've got this guy down here. And he appears to still be growing, but we'll just keep an eye on that and see if we saved its life. See if we saved its life just so we can eat it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the last thing we were gonna check on is the peach tree. Looks like the apple trees. We noticed a bunch of the apples had fallen off onto the ground the other day, like dozens of them. So pretty sure these apple trees aren't gonna give us anything this year. I'm not even gonna look, to be honest with you. It disgusts me. I am gonna check on the peach tree, which is doing amazing. So let's flip the camera around for you real quick. Okay, so you can see all those beautiful peaches hanging on this tree. There, over here. You can see one's on the ground. It's ready. To be honest, we're gonna send the kids out today to pull a bunch of these peaches because I think this tree is pretty much ready to go. When it comes to the fruit and vegetables in your garden, sometimes there's only one way to see if it's ready, and that's to take a bite. So we're gonna see if this, even though this is a tiny peach, it looks ripe. So I'm gonna try it. A lot of the peaches on the tree are like 2 times bigger than this, but let's give it a try. That is as good as gold right there. So yes, we're gonna have some yummy peaches for lunch today. So I thank you guys for watching.
Sometimes growing a garden and fruit trees and all that stuff can be super frustrating. And if you try it, you will have failures. That's just the nature of the business. This was a really, really weird weather year where we've had high winds, a ton of high winds, and really weird weather. We got really cold spells late into the spring. So everything has just struggled this year, but I'm glad to have a few victories and enjoy a few of the fruits of my labor. But anyways, just want to thank you guys for watching. Please, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. By subscribing, that helps me know that you actually care, that I'm putting all this work into these videos. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks again for watching. We'll see ya.